Good morning, everybody. This is Kathy Elkins with Premier Marketing. Thank you for joining us today. I have Corey Martin on the line from Sagicor Life. He's the Regional Sales Manager for the Life Annuity Division. Good morning, Corey. How are you doing today?
Great, Kathy. How are you today?
I'm doing wonderful. The sun's shining, the birds are singing. It feels like summer's actually coming around the corner. So kind of
Life
excited.
is good. Life is
Life
good.
is good. Life is good. You know, that always makes me think of when, changes happen with the weather and with it going from spring to summer. It always makes me think of people trying to, start their vacations and doing something different. And I want to remind people not to just jump in and forget summer's here, back off insurance. Now's the perfect time to be talking to your clients. A lot of them are off for vacation themselves or not working if you're working with teachers. They got their time off, so now would be a perfect time to ramp up your business. And today, I've got Corey on the line with us. He's going to help us on a little different avenue of helping you try to get some more business in and help your business grow by talking to us about a single premium product. So Corey, I'm going to let you take it away and give us some great knowledge and information about what Sagicor can offer and help.
Sounds great, Kathy. Thanks so much. I appreciate the opportunity to be here and talk with you all today. So thanks for that.
Oh, thank you.
As Kathy mentioned, I'm Corey Martin. I'm the Regional Sales Manager for Life Insurance and Annuities here at Sagicor Life Insurance Company. I'm based out of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and what I'd like to talk with you all about today is somewhat of a transformational product. This type of product, this type of contract that Sagicor has created has taken a place in the market which a lot of agents and a lot of advisors have kind of positioned or seen as a niche product. This is a conversation that moving forward can be not only transformational for your own practice, but very transformational for the client conversation, for your clients, for their families, and for people that you probably already have in your world, no matter what it is that you do. So let's move forward as we talk about how to position this legacy, care need, and wealth transfer conversation. So thinking about really the scope of what we're trying to accomplish in positioning products like this is I talk to a lot of agents and a lot of advisors around the country about, well, why single premium life? My clients don't really ask me about single premium life. And if you're in that frame of mind where you're waiting for your clients to ask you about single premium life, that day most likely will never come. This is a conversation that is we like to think of it as a need versus a want-based sale. So we've got to open up the conversation. So why single premium life? Why is it important to me? Why is it important to my clients? Why is it important to my practice? And really the features and benefits really kind of speak to why this is a product that over the next decade is going to be heavily marketed, is going to be greatly talked about, because from a feature and benefit standpoint, this is what clients and consumers today are really looking for, even though they may not know it. And I'll explain a little bit in detail. But a couple of numbers that I want to bring to mind that are impactful from the standpoint of relevancy of what this product is and what it can help accomplish for you and your clients. And those numbers are 63 and 70. 63 is the percentage of, believe it or not, this is a LIMRA number, that last year people that bought life insurance, and this is again a number from 2021, people that bought life insurance in 2021 identified wealth transfer as the #1 reason they bought it. 63%. Now, I've been in the business a long time, about 26 years now, and I've never seen that number above 30. So there is wealth transfer happening in the marketplace right now, and your clients are likely looking for opportunities, they're looking for options, and they're looking for solutions. So the second number, 70, is actually a number from the federal government as part of a Medicare study, that 70% of people who are turning age 65 currently will have a need for chronic benefits or long-term care benefits of some kind. So that means that basically 7 out of 10 people that are in your world, Mr. and Mrs. Producer, now are going to have the need for what our WealthCare product or our single premium life contract presents to you and your clients. So from the perspective of why you as a business owner would be interested in pivoting to a single premium life conversation is because you certainly want to protect your own clients. And because this is a prevalent conversation, and obviously we've just kind of identified the need here, I want to protect my own business, my own persistency, and my own clientele by making sure that I have the conversations with them about relevant topics to them and their world. So knowing that, I think it becomes key and important that if you're not having this conversation, you certainly don't want your competitor down the street having this conversation with your client at a party or whatever the case might be, that you don't want to leave any stone unturned. And then obviously building a growing profit center in your practice. If this is a niche, if this is a growing opportunity, this is an opportunity for all of us to further enhance our own revenue and practices. So again, as we look at compelling reasons to talk with our clients about a care plan and what that potentially looks like, is again knowing that 7 out of 10 people are going to need some type of benefit during their lifetime, and that's just backed up again by Wall Street Journal. Most people think that Medicare is going to cover the cost of some type of chronic care, some type of long-term. That is absolutely not the truth. So again, these are dollars that we've got to provide for ourselves and our families. And you know what, frankly, if the parents of your clients or your clients who are parents don't have a plan, their family becomes their plan. And that, for me, is just a very relevant topic as well, because I've been blessed to our parents have taken care of these types of plans and have done enough planning where we don't have to worry about that. But again, there are a lot of situations currently where there is absolutely no plan, and that family is going to be drawn into that, and that's a perfect segue into that conversation. So again, just knowing that parents, there are a lot of parents that are out there don't have a plan. They're expecting their children to, again, be their plan for care. And that can be an opportunity for us to tie generations together as insurance professionals. So the growing opportunity is that 10,000 boomers are turning age 65 every day. Millions, as we've already kind of laid the plan out here, are really truly unprepared. They've ignored the cost of care. They don't understand that Medicare is not going to take care of their chronic illness benefit. Their family is not being set, their affairs aren't being set in order, so the family is potentially going to have to step up, and a lot of people just don't understand this. So with that in mind as well, and any of you that have experience with Alzheimer's or some kind of cognitive event in your family, it's devastating. It's not only devastating mentally, it can be devastating financially. The average need for care for an Alzheimer's patient is 5.5 to 6.5 years. And the biggest question that we all need to ask is, where is the money going to come from to care for individuals who are in this boat? I've had my wife's grandmother experience Alzheimer's, and I can tell you from firsthand experience, it's absolutely devastating. but the financial impact can be ongoing and absolutely devastate a family. So these are conversations, again, that moving forward need to be had. So I've always told Kathy, when Kathy and I have conversations about single premium life and we have conversations about life insurance, I think it's important that we understand, and obviously I understand as a professional in this business for 25 years, is that there's a lot of us out here that don't see ourselves as single premium life producers. We just don't. We don't see ourselves as single premium life producers. We see ourselves as, you know, we have to position ourselves as financial professionals, and really, what is that? A lot of that, what does that mean moving forward? What does that mean in the 21st century? What does that mean for the next decade? Well, it's important to understand where the money is going to come from. So I want to help you with the conversation of where these funds are, and if we all know this, we can position our conversations accordingly. But the fact of the matter is, the market is in flux. The market is right now is in transition. So over $20 trillion has been liquidated from the marketplace and put on what we call on the sidelines. So think bank accounts, think CDs, think money market accounts, think short-term cash reserves, that anytime the market starts to go south or there's some type of volatility, I want my money close to me. And for better or worse, right now that's where the cash is being held, is in cash, CDs, money market alternatives, and any type of short-term dollars. So when we talk about employing strategies moving forward to how do we tap into those dollars and how do we have these conversations about how we can do better, frankly, I had mentioned turning a need sale into a want sale, and that right here is just somewhat of a mindset change for us as professionals. A need sale is typically that term sale that I'm positioning my client against the risk of dying early. In this conversation, we want to pivot that to a want sale, and it's easily done, and I'll show you how in just a second of how this conversation can spin. But the key strategy here to think about is the multitasking of dollars and benefits. So basically asking the question of your client, if I could show you how to take $1 today and turn it into $2 tax-free later on for people you love and care about, or sometimes in special cases for yourself, would that be a conversation that you'd want to have? And it's really just as simple as that. And then thinking about the reallocation in a lot of cases of those hard-earned dollars, because those are dollars that they've got in a cash situation because they certainly don't want that money at risk currently. So here's a great way to turn the conversation into a very productive conversation moving forward. And this can help you not only in the single premium conversation, but if you're an annuity producer, if you're a life insurance producer in general terms, these are great conversations in helping you identify not only where the money is, but how these funds can potentially be reallocated. So the question is then, can we take a moment, Mr. and Mrs. Client, to review your savings through the lens of taxation? And asking that question, it's a great way to position yourself then as, you know, tell me where your money is being held from the lens of taxation. I had the pleasure of meeting a top of the table MDRT producer who's a lifetime member of MDRT. He literally had a conversation. I attended a webinar or a seminar at that time about 4 or 5 years ago. He literally stood up in front of a whiteboard and drew 2 lines down the middle of the whiteboard. On the left-hand side, he wrote "Tax me now." On the middle column, he basically wrote "Tax me later." on the right-hand side, he wrote tax me never. And when he was being bombarded with, how do you go to market? How do you get in front of people? He said, this is how I do it. He said, I do webinars, I do seminars, and I stand in front of a room just like this, and I write these words on this board. And then I have my clients and I have the people that I work with in my world tell me where they hold their money. And it's a very productive and profitable conversation that really gets clients engaged. They want to understand why these questions are being asked. A lot of them don't know what the tax scenario they contribute to 401ks because their friends do, because everybody else at work does. They really, again, this is just a very productive lesson on where the money is being held and the tax consequences of those dollars. So needless to say, when we're having these conversations, we're interested in the tax me never bucket. Our job, and the way I see my job, and when I was a producer in the field, is I want to move as much of the money that my clients hold in the tax me now or tax me later bucket into the tax me never bucket. So how do we do that? Well, having the conversation about legacy and chronic illness is paramount when it comes to identifying those trillions of dollars that are sitting on the sidelines. Ask your clients, are they happy with the rates of return on their savings, on their CDs, on their money market accounts? Is it getting you where you want to go? And then going back to that question of, if I could show you how to take $1, turn it into $2 tax-free for the people you love or potentially yourself, would that be a conversation you'd want to have? And then again, opportunities will present themselves in a variety of different ways. We are finding old cash value life insurance policies that aren't currently meeting their clients' needs. A perfect example, one of the largest cases we've done this year is just a little over $600,000 of single premium, but it was a pre-retiree with an old variable life policy that had, well, over $600,000 in it, and the money is in the process of being moved right now. But the client was in the process of thinking about retirement. The annual premium on this policy that he had was over $20,000 annually, and he really was not excited about continuing to pay that premium into retirement. So the advisor brought us in as an opportunity to talk about a single premium solution, one premium that's paid, death benefit guaranteed forever, return to premium feature, back end chronic illness benefits. We basically, this advisor positioned it very, very well, and actually, these aren't my words, but called it a Swiss Army knife of financial services products. So we took that single premium. The client was no longer interested in paying additional premium. For us, it was the immediate death benefit of well over $1.4 million. The growth over time that we used as an indexing component, which we'll talk about some detail here in a second. And then the chronic illness benefit. So the chronic illness benefit is capped at $500,000. And when filed, 2 of 6 ADLs being the trigger, $500,000 of chronic illness benefit is available to the client over a 48-month period. So again, we're crossing T's and dotting I's as we move along. But think about clients with, again, financial instruments with volatility. If somebody's got risk in a certain stock portfolio, or they've just retired from Coca-Cola, for example, and their entire retirement is invested in Coca-Cola stock. Think about people who have those types of funds set aside and may not know what the next steps are. And then certainly clients with windfalls or cash inheritance. Great prospects for this type of contract, where we're talking about current benefits, we're talking about chronic benefits, we're talking about multitasking of dollars. So let's talk Client conversation starters. Once you've had the conversation about where the money is being held, well, Mr. and Mrs. Prospect, Mr. and Mrs. Client, tell me what your goals are for those dollars that we've set aside. And what we've found is most of the time it's, you know what, I just don't want to lose any value. I don't want to go backwards. Everybody that I know has got dollars in the stock market, and I certainly don't want to put my retirement dollar at risk. Well, why WealthCare in this particular instance? Lifetime guaranteed death benefits, never going to go backwards. Access to funds, that's certainly a big one. I just, life happens and I want access to my money. I want my money to be liquid. I want access to it. I want to know I have it if I need it. Well, on WealthCare, we've added a penalty-free return of premium, so the access to the dollar is guaranteed as well. Well, I don't want too much here, but I want to make sure I have upside potential as well. Well, as a matter of fact, you do have growth opportunities. You can choose your strategies with downside protection as well. You choose which of the options best fits your current situation. And I want protection from health related risk as well. Maybe they've already started thinking about, you know what, Alzheimer's runs in our family, chronic benefits, chronic illnesses run in our family. You know what, we're all diabetics in the Martin household. What are we going to do that is moving forward? Yeah, I may live to the ripe old age of 90, but you know what, I've got to position myself to make sure that I don't run out of money. My kids don't run out of money. I certainly don't want to put my family in that position. Well, with the chronic and terminal illness protection rider that we've added at no additional cost, no additional underwriting, makes that disappear as far as any kind of pushback that I would get from making sure that your client is protected from a health related risk. And then certainly legacy. Where's that dollar going to go, or that second dollar going to go? Those $2 that are tax free are going to be passed on to my heirs when the time comes. So again, I'm accomplishing a lot, and I think Swiss Army knife of financial services products is a perfect way to identify how this product can be impactful to you and your clients. So let's look at a couple of case scenarios that we actually did. Real life scenarios that came to fruition, and this is Maria, single mother, was a retired school teacher, had a significant amount of money in allocated from cash portfolio that she had. She actually had sold some property and had $100,000 in a CD that she just had no idea what to do with. So we found Maria. We talked through what the benefits were to Maria from day one. At her kids, she has 2 kids that she wanted to make sure were taken care of upon her passing. $235 of tax-free benefit would pass on to her kids if she were to pass away at the end of year 1. End of year 20, you can see the death benefit grew to $264,000. The guaranteed benefit to her, $186,000 would come back to her, would be federally guaranteed, income tax free from a guaranteed standpoint. So if Maria decides that she wants to cancel that policy, again, the $100,000 in cash comes back to her guaranteed, whether it's day 1, year 20, doesn't matter. It comes back to her in the form of her liquid initial deposit. So if in this particular case, if Maria suffers a chronic illness, some type of chronic benefit that she needed to file 2 of 6 ADLs being the trigger, guaranteed at the end of year 1, $206,000 of benefit, which would be allocated to her chronic illness benefit, that her family would be able to not worry about that dollar being allocated to having to take care of mom. So mom would be taken care of. So again, the 2 of 6 ADLs being the trigger for filing And once on claim with Sagicor, always on claim with Sagicor until the client decides that she doesn't need those dollars any longer. The great thing about WealthCare, it's really easy to calculate what the chronic benefit is. The way we've filed this product, the chronic benefit is the death benefit less $25,000, which we keep in arrears to keep the integrity of a life insurance policy. So the $25,000 becomes the death benefit. We take the difference between the death benefit and $25,000, divide by 48 months, and that becomes your chronic illness benefit as paid. And that will always be illustrated in the software when you illustrate with us, whether it's on whatever platform you choose to illustrate Sagicor, you will always see that chronic benefit illustrated as such. Now, here's a family that downsized, both Jenny and Mike. They had sold their primary residence and downsized. Their kids had graduated from college. They decided to move on. So they each took $100,000 single premium, single death benefit in WealthCare, reallocated, and you can see the death benefits here. Again, taking that $1 and turning it into $2.60 in the case of Jenny and $2.40 in case of Mike. So we've magnified the death benefit. We've, again, guaranteed the return of premium. We've showed them how this chronic illness benefit over a 48-month period can be very impactful no matter which of them file the 2 of 6 ADL. The money will be there over that 48-month period to take care of each other. So it became really a no-brainer for these two that, you know what, money if I need it, chronic benefits if I don't, and then back-end death benefit to my family. So I'm accomplishing a lot with the singular dollar that I'm using. In this case, it came from the sale of their primary residence. And then again, knowing that the return of premium is there, that return of premium, that $100,000 coming back into my pocket anytime that you need it, that's a huge benefit. And then the tax never of the chronic illness benefits are never taxed. The back end death benefit is never taxed. Makes this conversation very productive. So let's drill down into the nitty gritty a little bit of, okay, we've talked about some positioning, we've talked about tax buckets, we've talked about how to access dollars, where the money is being held, where the money is being funded for these particular contracts. Let's talk about what we're looking at from a product standpoint. This product has got a lot of bandwidth, 18 to 85 from a preferred class. And I get asked often, Corey, how many preferred 85-year-olds do you see? Well, the fact of the matter is this is actually a blended class sale. So a preferred class actually is preferred through table 4. So there is bandwidth here that if you have a client who's not in the best of health, no sweat, there's an opportunity for us to place this all the way up to table 4 on a preferred basis. Guaranteed return premium. We've hammered that since the very beginning of our conversation today. Big reason why liquidity is huge. Lifetime guaranteed death benefit with upside potential. You've got a credited interest rate bonus. So we pay a persistency bonus that's guaranteed in the contract. 50 basis points beginning in policy year 11 becomes the floor of this policy. We've heard 0 is your hero when you're talking about index products. Well, at the end of policy year 11, the floor becomes 50 basis points. And then you do have a no lapse guarantee. So again, peace of mind in that the benefits are going to be there when your client needs it. So chronic benefits, no separate underwriting, no additional cost. The bucket of funds available is up to $500,000. So $500,000 is the maximum benefit that you can file under our chronic benefit, again, divided by 48 months. So the chronic illness trigger is the inability to perform 2 of 6 ADLs, which is, again, your traditional chronic illness. and traditional long-term care benefit filing. So 2 of 6 ADLs, bathing, eating, dressing, continence, and again, severe and cognitive impairment is covered here as well. It's probably the most simple claim form that you'll ever see. So allocation opportunities, what do we talk about? If you're talking to your clients about growth opportunity, I want to make sure this money is safe, secure, but oh, by the way, the growing death benefit on the back end is a very important feature. And certainly because the chronic benefit is based on the death benefit at the time of file, we want to make sure, and your client will likely want to make sure that that death benefit is continuing to grow. So the growth opportunities, and interestingly enough, we do offer a high growth of a high cap and high par strategy for a 1% annual account value charge, which comes out of the cash value of the policy. You can allocate to an 11% cap, S&P cap, or 65% global multi-index high par strategy. Interestingly enough, about 75 cents on every dollar we get is allocated to the 11% high cap strategy. So again, people want growth and upside opportunity, and any changes that we make in indexing strategies, and I will give you a heads up, there will be some new strategies that we will be employing here very soon, will be added to WealthCare as well, so your clients will have additional choices and additional options for upside growth. So again, I'm a little visual, so here's a visual representation of what those look like, whether you're an S&P index strategist, or you like the global multi-index, the idea of exposing your client to risk internationally. So this is opportunity for you to explain how we position these dollars, reallocate these dollars to a product like WealthCare. Now, here's something else to keep in mind, that as these conversations heat up, there are a number of carriers around the industry that offer solutions like this. And what makes WealthCare different? Well, what makes WealthCare different, the biggest thing that we've seen are the indemnity contracts and the reimbursement contracts. Many of the true LTC, chronic benefit, long-term care type of contracts are reimbursement contracts. And what that means for you and your client is that they've got to basically save every receipt of every dollar they spend to file those reimbursements with the carrier of their choice. And again, so ask those questions as you move forward in your practice and you start identifying which of these products best fits what you want to do moving forward. Is this a reimbursement contract or is this an indemnity contract? Ours is indemnity, WealthCare is indemnity. We do not care what those dollars are used for. Once your client is on claim with us, those checks will be deposited each and every month, irregardless of what the situation happens to be moving forward. It's a very important thing to know for you as a professional. You certainly, I don't know about you, but if I'm dealing with a parent, if I'm dealing with some type of care that I've got to be engaged with my mom, my dad, my significant other, whoever that might be, I certainly don't want to think about collecting receipts. So something to think about, certainly. So also additional underwriting. There is no additional underwriting when your client applies for a WealthCare policy. With a lot of long-term care type of contracts that are reimbursement, it's important to understand that, you know what, these are morbidity underwriting. So what we talk about morbidity underwriting is they are underwriting the long-term care aspect of this contract. WealthCare is a life insurance policy with additional chronic benefits. So there is no need to qualify upfront from a long-term care perspective. And also for you, as the professional, no additional licensing is required from you. So again, just some important things to understand as you start to evaluate options. We think that WealthCare, and we hope that you will Give WealthCare an opportunity, give WealthCare a shot for you and your clients. We talked about the fast and easy claim process. It's literally 1.5 pages. Once your client has filed, once they've been approved, qualification is they have access immediately. No continued proof of care, no continued forms, nothing else required. They'll never be able. They'll never have to worry about submitting receipts, which again is a huge detriment, in my opinion, to a lot of the reimbursement contracts that are available in the marketplace. So how do we go about underwriting it? Well, for any of you that have done business with Sagicor, and even if you haven't, it's important to understand that Sagicor has embraced a very simple process that we call accelerating. It's basically an automated underwriting system. Our e-application process can be easily conducted online. Once you hit enter in the application process, this goes directly into an algorithm. So an algorithm has been created for that preferred to table 4 underwriting process. Our net amount at risk takes over. So in the cases that we looked at for Maria, for example, you look at somebody age 65, $100,000 deposit that creates a $250,000 death benefit. The net amount at risk of that particular case would be $150,000, or the difference between the immediate deposit and the initial death benefit. And you would know from that particular case that this would qualify for our easy application process. So once you submit that case to us, you can potentially get a decision within a 2-minute time frame. And the beauty of doing business this way, electronic application process, is not only can you have the opportunity for a decision within 2 minutes, but most of our policies are delivered within 17 days. So submission to commission oftentimes takes no longer than 17 days from the initial submission to the commission being paid to the agent, which is a beautiful thing. So no telephone interview, no senior supplement. If we need to identify some type of medical malady, some type of risk, we will reach out directly to the agent. We may need an attending physician statement. Parameds, sometimes, again, I think we've had one paramed since this product has been rolled out 3 years ago. Not a common occurrence, but the net amount at risk is what we look at as far as from an underwriting standpoint. So non-medical e-application. So as we review what we've talked a little bit about here today, think about where to find the money, right? Are clients happy with the rates of return on their CDs, their money market accounts? Are they happy doing what they're currently doing? Cash value life insurance can be, old cash value life insurance policies can be a great access of funds that maybe they were bought in the 90s. Those policies didn't have chronic illness benefits typically. So think about it as new life insurance with living benefits and multitasking of dollars. And again, thinking of cash windfalls, inheritances, just think about those. If you need additional ideas on where the money is being held or how to find the money or how to have these conversations, certainly reach out to myself, my team, Kathy and her team at Premier. They do a great job with us. We're excited about the partnership moving forward, but ask your clients what their concerns are for their retirement and their future, knowing that in today's marketplace, people are getting out. People want safety. They want security. If they have children, do you expect them to help with your care? Well, asking those questions up front, identifying opportunities to have these conversations, and then control of money. Do Mr. and Mrs. Client, do you want to make sure that you control the conversation of where those dollars go? So knowing all that, just some key points to remember. This is a huge growing opportunity. Boomers want flexibility and security. The WealthCare, think about it as the Swiss Army knife of financial services products. The claim process, the application process, we don't even need face-to-face interaction here. Electronic applications, you can take those, Zoom calls, whatever the case might be, however you do business, we'll meet you there. Legacy, liquidity, living benefits, that's the basis of what this is. And so much for having a conversation today, but I want to let you know that if there's anything that we can do to help further our relationship here at Sagicor, I'm certainly available to have one-on-one conversations if you'd like to learn more. Visit sagicorproducer.com. That's www.sagicorproducer.com to find out about marketing ideas, client-facing pieces, agents pieces for you and your agency. There is a lot of great detail there for all of our life insurance products, as well as door opener conversations as well. So I hope you'll take advantage of that. And thanks so much for your time today. And Kathy, thank you for providing us the platform.
Thanks a lot. I really appreciate you joining us today. Let us know if there's anything that we can do for you. Give us a call at our office at 800-365-8208. My extension, our team extension is 607, so reach out to us if you have any additional questions. If you're not appointed, we'll go ahead and get the contracting paperwork for you. Otherwise, you can do the contracting if you're not set up at our website at www.premiersmi.com and just go to get contracted. There's a link out there that you can get set up with us. So thank you, Corey, so much for this webinar. There's a lot of great notes I took, so I hope everybody out there was able to take great notes and think of a couple of clients that you know this is going to be great for. So have a great day, everybody. Thanks again. Take care. Bye.